doing this for a long time.
Thank you for clicking on episode 4 of the Broken Instruments podcast. In this episode, we are given a rare peek into the mind of a physique competitor, athlete, personal trainer, coach, and artist. John Anthony Doromal is a testament to how far humans can push themselves to answer life's what-ifs. There are so many layers beneath the surface, and we're thankful that you're joining us for another deep dive. All right, let me welcome another brother of mine, another man on his path, Mr. John Anthony Doromal. Welcome, brother.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
Excited to be here.
I'm glad to have you, dude. You're a man on his path. You're kind of trekking your own way. I definitely want to highlight that you're the founder, CEO, the head of Antsthetics Fitness.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, man.
In the making.
Yeah, definitely. First off, dude, I just want to say I'm super inspired by you that you kind of took this path. Not a lot of people that we know are doing what you're doing right now. I mean, you are an older brother to me, especially because you're Gracie's older brother. You're the godfather to our daughter, and we're blessed to have you in our lives, bro. So,
Yeah, same, bro. I mean, you've been nothing but blessing and quite the addition to the family. So, yeah, I definitely appreciate everything you've done for her, for Mela, the family. So,
yeah,
just any way I can help.
That's a whole different story, but coming into the family, I was looking forward to it, and you guys welcomed me with open arms, and I'm proud to be part of the Doromal family. So, thanks, man.
Of course, man. You've been a brother since day one, so
yeah, exactly.
It's only fitting.
Exactly, man. We grew up together. We went to high school together and everything. So, I definitely want to talk about the competition that you were in. Personally, me and Gracie weren't able to go to your actual competition. That's a regret of mine. Everyone that went, everyone was telling me that you made everybody proud. I was curious, man. What's it like to join a physique competition, man?
Well, it's a whole lot. I mean, to like sum into like a few words.
Yeah.
But just like the competition alone, like you really have to come in like mentally prepared. Physically, obviously, that's like a given. But most people don't think about like the mental preparation. Just the fact that like peak week alone, like your body changes like by the hour. Your diet is like even more crucial that week, whether it's like carb loading, sodium like manipulation, water intake, all that stuff, sleep, like getting your stress levels down. Just trying to get everything like under wraps, like getting like a feel of like how your body is, and like having that constant communication with your coach. So it's a lot of stress, but it's that fear that everyone has, that fight or flight, but like stepping into it, like embracing that fear and knowing that this is like your time, like Hamilton, this is my shot.
Yeah. Dude, that's
so
awesome. Well, the fact that you point that out, like the challenge alone, the competition, I mean, that's why like I really don't even understand the mental game in that, because you said every hour it changes. Every like little thing that you put in your body or whatever it is like that you do as far as activity, it's going to change your body, coming down to when you're about to be on stage, right? So no one that I know, well, I mean, I had a coworker that used to compete, but I'm really curious as to why did you decide to do it? Not a lot of people choose to. So
I mean, so like little like backstory. So like I had like a previous like business venture of mine that like didn't pan out. And then I was like down on my luck, felt like I hit rock bottom. That's when I decided to move out with my girlfriend, Janaea. And then we moved to the South Bay. And so I had nobody, like I was pretty much alone, just like me and her. And, you change your environment. What are you going to do? Like sink or swim. Yeah. So like, I just stuck to like what I do best. Like I go to the gym, play basketball. Like it was like the number one thing.
Yeah.
And then like, as you get older, you can't really like play as well as you used to. Yeah. So like, I really focused more on just strengthening myself. And that was the turning point right there. Like I just went all in, blinders on, like remember blinders, like back in the day, we used to talk about that. Yeah. And I really just like dove into it face first, no hesitation, like working out like 5, 6, 7 days a week. And I just see people there like just being in the South Bay alone, like Hermosa Beach, that's like my main like gym that I go to.
Yeah.
And there's so many bodybuilders there, CrossFitters, like beach volleyball players. Like I see people like Kerry Walsh, you know, like holy shit, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you would think like seeing bodybuilders at the gym, they're like all intimidating, like they're huge or whatever. But if you talk to them, they're some of the nicest people ever. Like they're just waiting for people to like ask them like the right questions, you know, like of course, like they don't want to be like interrupted like during mid set.
Yeah.
But like if you ask them like, oh, what's your tip for this, blah, 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 like they'll gladly help you. And that's the thing that I love about the sport is the brotherhood. That's something that I lacked when I was first there. And I miss from when back in Ontario.
Yeah.
You know, like back with the Guardian days, like that was our thing. And just to find that there, I just saw it as like, okay, well, this is something like I'm going to see where it goes, where it takes me, and haven't looked back since. And as far as the bodybuilding aspect, I just did a lot of like soul searching, YouTube searching, of course, and then came across Pumping Iron.
Oh, nice.
You know?
Yeah.
And then Arnold, shit, like he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, what if, you know? And then I saw that they had like newer divisions. There was men's physique. That's the division that I compete in. So that one's more like the board shorts, more about like the V taper, more of the attainable look.
Yeah.
So that's a division I wanted to tackle first. And then got a coach. They showed me the way. I thought I knew what I was doing already, but I had no idea. Like there's so much about like diet, carb cycling, like lean proteins, just training, like which muscle groups, how much, that volume, how much weight, water intake, like all that stuff. Like I was like, oh crap, there's like such like simple information, but like most people overlook. They think that they can just go to the gym and then just apply like whatever they think they know and just kind of like go blindly into finding their physique goal.
But there's definitely a difference because it's a science, right? Like everything in the body, biologically, it's a science. And I remember looking at pictures of your physique. Even right now, dude, you're still freaking lean. Like, and with that, a lot of people, like you said, don't really know how much it takes to get to that level of leanness. Dude, what was your number? Like, what was your body fat percentage at your best?
My last show, I was at like, I want to say 8%, maybe like just under that.
Damn, dude, like ab veins and everything. I saw them, man. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's funny because like a lot of guys, they think that like, oh yeah, I'm around like hovering like 10, 12%, but like most people think they're at a certain level, but in actuality, like they're a little bit higher than they want to believe. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to lie. Like when I saw pictures of you, I was probably thinking like, damn, that's probably like 6.5 or something or 7. I remember you telling me after, I think we were texting and you're like, dude, it's not healthy to get to that level. And it's a painful process, I think. So what did it feel like to be at 8% when you're about to step on stage?
I mean, I feel like the better person to ask would be Janaea because she's always the one around me and like the one who's experienced me.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like you're hangry most of the time because like you're at a deficit and you're training at a super high intensity level. Most of the time you're just thinking about food. And but the part that like people don't talk about is the body dysmorphia. So most people think like the average person sees you as, oh man, this guy's like in the best shape of his life. But what I'm seeing is the imbalances, the irregularities, like shit, like my shoulders could be popping more. My chest could have more like fullness. Like my abs could be like tighter, drier, stuff like that. So like most people, I could guarantee you, like if they compete, they're looking at their flaws more than like how they actually like look to the naked eye for somebody.
And this is like leading up to the competition, right? So like the week before or like a couple weeks before up to when you're on stage already, right?
Yeah. It's that last month for sure. Like your mind plays tricks on you. Like you tell yourself like, man, I wish I was bulking. Like I wish I like took more carbs. Like this day, I wish I did like an extra 5 minutes of cardio 2 months ago. Like, so all those small, like little like wins in the beginning, they all add up to the victory at the end.
Damn. Like even to the minute, like if I added like 5 more minutes, I might be a little leaner right now.
It's a compound effect.
Damn, that's gonna really mess you up too. About to step on stage, and then you look at everybody else. You have to compare yourself, I guess. I mean, that's what it is, right? You're being judged against other people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for me though, the fact that you said that a lot of people that do compete, they're some of the nicest people, or bodybuilders. They're some of the nicest people you've met. I mean, the brotherhood that you talk about, I think it's because, and this is just me speaking because I understand like hard work, right? In any sport or any like venture, I think they know how hard it is to do what they do, and someone that's trying to venture in, obviously, it's like they welcome you in because it's a brotherhood in the sense of, what it's like to suffer, like,
exactly,
and work hard,
and that's like your tribe right there.
Nice, and we definitely had that when we were growing up, man. I mean, growing up in church together, our families grew up together, and it was a sense of security and belonging to that, where like we were together in whatever it was, basketball. It would be like going to a retreat class for our church and stuff like that, and it translates directly to whatever I think we're doing right now. And it's almost like when you see each other, you pick up where you left off. Like we know the battles that we've had together. And that's a beautiful thing.
For sure. That's
a beautiful thing. And everybody's on their path, like I said, and we just support each other regardless of what path we're on. Mm-hmm. As far as mental game, oh man. So you said like the body dysmorphia and then the stress and anxiety of like being lean or symmetry and stuff like that. What's that process like to get through it or to get past it then?
I mean, you just gotta trust your coach at that point. Like you put in the work, like you put in like all the time, the money, like you ate all this like chicken breasts, like might as well like make the most of it. So it's really just focusing on the positives as hard as it is at that time, and really just try to put the best package that you have. And even if it's not like what you want it to be, you can fluff it. Like you can like kind of like decorate it, like through like your posing. Mm-hmm. So let's say there's a guy who has like the perfect like symmetry, the perfect like V taper. He has like the round 3D shoulders, like the full chest, but he doesn't know how to pose. You have the perfect physique, but you don't know how to present it on stage.
Yeah.
So whether it's like turning your waist at like a 25 like degree angle, or like popping like your chest out more, like standing 2 inches ahead of somebody, like to make yourself look bigger, because like short guys kind of have like that struggle,
Yeah.
So there's little there's like the little tweaks that you could do on stage that you have to be aware of and practice beforehand, just so like you can present the best package possible.
Damn. I remember watching I remember watching some fitness YouTubers and stuff, and man, they would say like posing alone is a stamina and endurance battle.
Oh hell yeah.
I mean, how long were you on stage like with one pose? Like how long do you have to hold it?
Okay, so the first time like I competed, like I made it to second call outs. So like I wasn't on stage like as long. And then the next time around, this is like the show where I placed the highest. So I made it to the first call outs, and you're like switching around. Like, so you could start off in the middle, which is like where you want to be. That's the first place spot.
Yeah.
And then they could say number 140, which is me, switch with 135. So you can go from like first to third. So like you have like the mental struggle, like on stage, like this guy's getting the edge right now, so you have to like pop even more, like tighten your waist. And like at the same time, like you're smiling, you have like Miss California smile, like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you have to, sometimes people like use like Aquaphor to like make sure like your teeth are showing.
Yeah.
And then you're like breathing out of your smile too. You're going like,
damn.
Yeah. So,
and you're literally contracting every freaking muscle in your body at the same time.
Oh yeah. And keep in mind too, like you're dry as heck. Like
you
have 0 to little carbs like in you. So like some people like even cramp up on stage. I've seen some guys like pass out on stage.
I was going to ask, like, do people like freaking fall over?
Yeah, it's very common. I was watching Mr. Olympia a few weeks ago, like mid-December, and then it was the bodybuilding competition. That's like the Super Bowl already. And then one of the guys, he straight up like he placed fourth or fifth, I want to say, and then he passed out like during posing, and he didn't make it out to the placing, so he was like a few minutes late. So even at the highest level, it could happen to anybody.
Damn, yeah, it's a sport for sure. A lot of people don't realize that. I mean, they look at it on the superficial level, and it's like, all right, just a bunch of people like being vain about their body or something. No, it's a sport. It's athleticism that I mean, I'm glad we can even highlight it right now. I mean, I think in reality, a lot of people look at people like that and they're like comparing themselves to it, and like, well, they kind of project, oh yeah, they're just vain or whatever. They're narcissists. I don't think so, man.
Oh no, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into that package that people see. And you know, it's crazy. It takes usually about like 12 to like 16 weeks to like attain that look. And you think about that, it's 3 to 4 months. And then you're stepping on stage, and then you only have 10 to like 30 seconds to like give it your best shot.
Yeah.
So
it's your shot.
3 to 4 months of prep, and you only have less than a minute to prove yourself.
Yeah.
That's that crazy?
That is insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It translates to a lot of things, because I mean, you talk about like basketball players, or, you know, going for that championship game, or it's like game 7, and you've worked all this time to get to that position, and now you have like one game left. This is it. Do or die. And yeah, I mean, if you're packaging yourself and you're stuck with yourself the entire path, like the entire journey. So I can imagine you're talking to yourself back and forth, like talking yourself in, talking yourself out, and that'll just fuck your head up, I think. So
oh heck yeah, dude, it's such a mind game, like with yourself, like for the most part, because like a lot of the guys, like they're cool as hell. I mean, you see like a few that are like, no, like this is my spot, like no, fuck you, like they'll try to get like their elbows like above them just so like the judge can see them a little bit better. So like there's that side of it too, but most of the time we're just goofing around back there. Like everyone just like, cool. Oh dude, like you have such a crazy six pack, you know, like it sounds like funny to say, but you know, like we're talking about like, oh, what it took to get here and like what was our journey. We're like sharing Snicker bars like backstage, like carving up, you know, like so it's fun. Like the first time I did it, I was a little too serious. Like I was trying to be like that lone wolf, like, oh, don't fuck with me, I'm here to win, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then that was like a humbling experience right there. Like,
when was that? When was your first one?
That was 2017.
Okay, dang.
Yeah, that competition was in San Diego, and yeah, I just like had the wrong like approach going into it. I was just thinking like, oh, I'm better than everyone, but like you don't think about like the networking you can do, like how this person can like help you like in the future, you know, like joining like a future team, like to better like your chance, stuff like that. So just being more open, like open heart, open mind, like what we were taught, you know?
Yeah.
If you really think you're going into it like on your own and you're just thinking like, I don't need anybody, like you're gonna fail.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, it was your first time. So it was like, your experience in that was, I mean, I'm sure going into a competition, anybody, they have to psych themselves up to that point to be like the guy, to be the badass, to win.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it knocked you back to just, hey, just being you and enjoying the ride and meeting
just have
people.
Fun.
Yeah.
Because if you're not having fun, like what's the point? Like as cliche as it sounds, like if you're not having fun, like why do it at all?
And you're gonna come across these people a lot, probably, especially.
Oh yeah, I have. I've competed against like 2 or 3 guys that were in the same competition the year before.
Nice.
And we're like, oh hey, what's up? How's it going? You know, like, and you just like pick up where you left off from like the last stage.
Yeah, and it's almost I can imagine you guys are more encouraging the more and more you guys see each other.
Oh yeah, big time.
And then
like, we tell each other like, oh, do this to warm up. Like do this a little bit slower so you can like have like that max stretch and fullness like when you pump up. So little stuff like that.
Yeah, and like they have their own coaches too, so you don't want to burn bridges, man. That's the reality.
No.
Like never in anything, right? We don't want to burn any bridge. You might come across people again at some point. Then your second competition was when then?
2018.
Like a year later.
Yeah. So like I made some big improvements. I had a pretty like good off season. Really took my bulk serious. I think I ended that competition at $150, and then by the time I ended my bulk, I was at 190.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I remember you telling me that you were 150, but I remember seeing you in person and you just looked more jacked. Like I saw pictures, like your progress pics, and I was like, dude, you look more jacked, but you're at 150. Like a lot of people don't see that the leaner you are, you look big. It's pretty crazy.
It's the illusion.
Yeah.
That's like the beauty of bodybuilding. Like, so like you take that mass, like when you're at your peak bulk, and then you're just like slowly like chiseling away. You know, like you're trying to like attain like a certain look, you know, like with Michelangelo with a statue of David.
Damn.
You know, like he just saw like a large marble block, and then he slowly chipped away to find his masterpiece. That's exactly how you treat it.
Yeah. So when you look in the mirror, you know, you see the little parts coming off, and you know what you need to work on or whatever.
Yeah. But that illusion is crazy.
Yeah.
It's all in the V taper. So like bodybuilding is all about that itty bitty waist, and then you create that V through like your lat spread, your wideness through like your delts, the fullness of your chest. So like everything like flows together.
Yeah, you got the wide shoulders for sure, man. So I'm sure that was like a strength of yours, that V taper.
No, believe it or not, that was my weakness.
No way,
that was
dude.
my weakness. Yeah. So like my first time around, I had like 0 like shoulders. So like I made it an emphasis like during that off season to build my delts.
Dang, so you went up to 190.
My delts on my chest.
Nice. Yeah. You went up to 190. How long did it take from that bulk? What was that bulking season like?
It was a good year.
Damn, the whole year up to your next real cut for the competition.
Yeah. So like that competition, I was competing. It was I want to say May. Yeah, it was Cinco de Mayo weekend in 2017, and then the last time I competed was 2018 in July. So I had same time like to bulk up until that May point, and then from then till July, I was just straight like just shredding.
Was it easier the second time around to cut?
It was because like you know what to expect, like you know like what you did wrong the last time around, and you correct that. And then also too, like another thing that people don't realize when it comes to bulking, you should treat it like your competition. So a lot of like competitors actually say that it's harder to lean bulk than it is to shred.
Oh,
because like when you lean bulk, like everything is like calculated. Like you're trying to like obviously you're at a surplus, you're trying to grow, so you eat more, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of people they'll just go crazy, eat whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you go crazy?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the first time around I bulked, like man, I was just like eating anything in sight.
Yeah, like dude, I'm bulking, right? It's like an excuse.
Yeah, and then so after the first competition, I really tried to lean bulk. So what that consists of, so you're trying to like hover around more like a 300, 400 calorie surplus rather than just like stuffing your face. So like it's still calculated.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like most people like they'll forget to, or not necessarily forget, but like they'll choose not to do cardio like during their bulking process, because that's how you stabilize. Like you eat and then you kind of like balance it out. So like a good weight to gain like monthly when you're lean bulking is about like 1.5 to like 2 pounds, maybe 3
per month.
Okay. Yeah.
Dang.
If you're gaining like 10 pounds in a month, like you're just dirty bulking.
Oh yeah. Like you're having too much fun at that point.
Basically.
Dude.
But also too, like when you dirty bulk like that, yeah, it's fun when you're eating it, but that means you have to suffer even more through your cardio.
Got it. You're really an athlete. I mean, any sport, right? Any Olympian, even, they're on the off season, they have to really take care of it. They can't go crazy or slack. It's gonna make it harder, like you said.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you have a little bit more leeway, of course, but you really should treat your bulk the way you would like as you're shredding for a competition.
The second time around, you got a different coach, right?
Yeah. So the first time around, like the coaches I had, like they're very knowledgeable, you know, like it was just, I was looking for like a different look, and they're good at what they do, you know, like
of course
their athletes look amazing, but like there's a certain look I was trying to attain. So the way I shopped like around, like for my coaches, was by the way, like they look. So like there's a few bodybuilders I had in mind. Some were like competing in classic physique, men's physique too. Like some were pros, some were amateurs. So I really did my research and like see like what type of clientele they had, what results did they get them, pricing. So a lot of it like comes into play. So I just really like focused on compatibility, pricing, and then their credibility as far as like attaining a certain look.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I ask is now you're coaching, so it's interesting to see you step into that realm. I don't know if you're planning to compete again. Are you?
I am, yeah. Oh, nice. So right now it's just like off season, kind of like adapting with the whole like pandemic and everything.
Yeah, this year was just off for everybody. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of gyms are closed, so most people are kind of just working out at home, you know. So I definitely like I'm at somewhat of a loss by like training at home because I'm not able to like go as heavy. I don't have access to like certain types of equipment. Yeah. So I'm just taking this year like as a year of like mental growth instead of like physical growth, which is important too. And I feel like I made like huge leaps and bounds as far as like my mental health goes.
Nice.
And really just focusing on taking care of my loved ones, like number one.
Yeah.
So that's my main focus right now. But competing is still like something like I really want to do and really like attain my pro card. So
nice.
Whether it's this year, next year, like the stage is still calling me.
You're going to get it, man. Like no matter what, you're still going to get it, you know? So, I mean, the fact that you mentioned, I mean, the year has been freaking crazy for everybody. I mean, mental health for sure is it's a battle for everybody this year. I think anybody involved in a form of competition or hard work in whatever vocation they're in, right? There was something that they pulled from that experience that helped with this pandemic. I think no one planned to stay indoors for so much time. Was there anything in particular that you pulled from in your experience as a competitor or anything that you did in the past that was super important or paramount to dealing with the pandemic mentally?
Yeah, I mean, like my main focus was just staying in shape. Like, really just trying to like keep my regiment going because I try to train at least like 5 times a week. Like if I'm lucky, like 6 or 7. So I was really trying to keep that habit going, and that's the type of lifestyle I was living in the past, but still is applicable, but like not as like the same intensity level. Same goes for diet. Like I was really trying to like eat right. Of course, like we let go a little bit, you know, like we're just at home, you're not seeing anyone. So why not? But of course, like summer like was around the corner, even though we're not doing much, wanted to get in somewhat of like a summer bod. So really just try to like focus on the past like cycles, like from whatever I did compete in. And really just more just like staying lean, staying healthy, like as hard as it was for a lot of people, just staying inside, like not as mobile, you know, like I even had my Fitbit, like really trying to like track my steps, really trying to hit at least 10,000 a day, like, which I did for the most part. But like, there were some days where I was like, okay, I'll just like be a couch potato, whatever.
Yeah. No, everybody needs
I still have those days.
Yeah.
I still have them. I'm only human.
Of course, man. Of course. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize the routine that you had before, the physical exercise, that directly relates to mental health. That directly supports someone's mental health. I mean, it's not just the physical activity. It's the overcoming of whatever it is, PRs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like another thing based off what you were saying, like training is like, it's become like my sanctuary. Like it's my safe haven. That's like my time to, most people don't see it this way, but like it's my time to be creative because I'm like seeing myself as like an artist. I'm like reshaping my body, you know. I see it as an art because bodybuilding is an art, you know, like you see some of the best physiques in the world look like Greek gods, you know, like that's something like I aspire for. And a lot of it too, just taking the steam out of like a shitty day, you know, like you just want to like put on some like heavy metal or like some dubstep or whatever and just like go ham, you know, like so there's days like that too. And it's therapeutic.
Yeah. That's the exact word right there. It's therapeutic. Exercise, I mean, for me was definitely therapy. And, you know, because gyms are closed, I'm lucky to have a garage that I can have like therapeutic sessions by myself with the heavy bag and kettlebells and stuff. But a lot of people overlook that physical aspect of mental health because they're like, oh, just, you know, meditate or read or something, or, you know, do some breathing exercises. That's actually something you could do like a meditative practice while you're working out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
And like not only that, but like the science behind it, like just when you're moving, your body's like in spirit, you know, like you're releasing endorphins, like you feel good like after you move, you know, like no one complains like after they run like a marathon, you know, like, oh, I wish I never did that. Like, you know, everyone like they're proud of it. Like you busted ass and you persevered, you made it through, and you saw like what you were capable of.
Those little challenges that you're pointing out, and I mean, I think that helps, that, you know, it supports that idea that these guys are the nicest guys ever, is because they go through battles every time they work out, and from there they release so much energy, and whatever it is, bad energy, like you having a bad day, afterwards you're just the nicest person because nothing can really mess with you at that point. Like you expelled all that weird negative energy.
Perfectly said, bro.
Damn.
Spot on.
Yeah, and you know what, man? All these like people that are are supposedly healthy and stuff like that, but yet like they're like physically fit, and then yet like they yell at somebody, like, or they get cut off on the road, and it's like, man, F this person, whatever. I mean, that dormant energy, that negative energy that they put out, it's just laying inside them because they're not having an activity like that.
They don't have the outlet at that time.
Yeah. That's why I know you as a very, very calm, stoic person, that like you could tell when someone really fights battles when they're alone, you know, not like, oh, like a bad thing, but when you work out, when you work out, you're introspective, you're like, you're kind of fighting those demons alone. And in a way, when you present yourself to family and friends, you just have that calm demeanor. And I mean, I attribute that to being an athlete, you know?
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
And that's inspiring. That's why I definitely wanted to come out right now is, you know, look past the physical, superficial stuff, man. Like anything that anybody is doing, there's a spiritual and mental battle, emotional battle with each vocation that someone's choosing, you know? And I'm sure when you're dealing with, you know, your clients, you're working with your clients, I mean, are there challenges? Like, do you see those come up with your clients? Like doubt and
yeah, everything? I mean, like, it's not like you can transfer like your mentality into other people.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's different. Everyone has like a different approach. So like everyone is just, you kind of have to have like that tailor-made like approach with like each person and really try to get to know them, you know, like what's their personality like, what's their love language, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah. See, and that's with anything, with customer service, with clients and things like that, you have to really individualize your approach. You know this person, and do you have them take like a survey in the beginning and kind of figure out like what your approach is for them, like when you're trying to figure it out?
So every client, like I start them off with a consultation. So I ask like some general questions, like any like problems with like health history, any pre-existing like illnesses, injuries, stuff like that. What's your relationship with food? What's your relationship with fitness? So like really trying to like get a feel of where they are like mentally and physically, like spiritually, when it comes to like their body, you know, because it's a very like intimate like moment, you know, like a lot of people are like insecure about like their bodies. So I get it, you know, like you really have to be delicate the way you approach it. You can't just like be a hammer and see everything as a nail, you know. You have to handle with finesse. Like you really gotta ask the right questions, like be personable, and most of all be genuine. Like I've had some coaches like that I was like trying to like be on their team, and like they just see you as a number, you know, like they just want your money. Like they don't really put in the effort like you kind of like expect in a coach. And that's something that I took and saw like I didn't like, and then I want to approach it with like a different mentality, you know, like really just be myself, be caring, you know, because I'm trying to change their lives, you know, like for the positive, like for the better, you know. And it takes a lot for someone to open up, like especially like sending them like a weekly like shirtless pic, you know, like all four sides. Like I'm really like dissecting their body, you know. So it's really developing that trust with them. Trust factor is everything.
When you establish that rapport with that person, from there, any challenge or obstacle that comes up, you guys can do it together because you trust each other, and you know you have this common understanding. Like this is what we're doing here, and they're trusting you with getting them through that. that alone makes me already understand that the type of coaching that you provide, it's more than just the physical side. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like your friend too. Like, of course, like, yeah, it's business, you know, like I'm trying to get you from point A to point B, but I really want to have that relationship with you. Like, I'm not just trying to like get your money, give you like some cookie cutter program. Like everything I do like is custom, like whatever like your goal is, like I'm doing everything like according to your body weight, like your body type, you know, like I'm giving you the correct like macros and calories that's needed for your goal. I'm not just giving you something that you can just print out. You know, like everything like takes time. I'm really like putting my effort into constructing like a tailor-made program for you to get you from point A to point B physique wise.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, I know you would do that. It's more than numbers. It's more than like measurements. You like looking at their lifestyle, looking at what type of exercise they can do. It all matters, right? Because a lot of people don't have access to a lot of things right now, especially if they're home. So
whatever I do, like it's based off what you have readily available.
Nice.
So like some people don't have anything. So I just design like a body weight program, just do like push-ups, sit-ups, you know, like doing like handstand push-up like against a wall, you know, really trying to like utilize like your surroundings. If you can't do like a row with like heavy weights, you have water jugs, right? So that's something you could use right there. So most people like just give up because they feel like they don't have everything. But if you're creative and you're hungry enough, you'll make a way like possible.
You know, that's a big challenge. Me being like a teacher, right? You have students, you have clients. There's always a few or at least a handful that can't get past themselves or can't, you know, they can't accept certain things, and, you know, they'll, like you said, they'll quit, they'll give up. I mean, what's your strategy when that happens? How do you get them to pull through with you? I mean, that's a internal battle for them. So is there anything that you kind of approach that with?
Yeah. It's funny you asked, because I was actually like speaking to a friend. It's not even a client. And then I just like DM people like occasionally, like to see how they're doing and stuff.
Nice.
Some people will like message like on a post that I made, and then we'll just have a conversation from there. A friend of mine that I haven't talked to in probably like a few months, obviously because like the pandemic, also like moved away. We're not as like close. And then we're just like messaging back and forth. And then we're just like talking about like fitness. And then I asked like, oh, like, so what do you have like available at home? Blah, blah, blah. So he has like a Bowflex or a few dumbbells, like some bands, whatever. He's like, oh, it seems like you have a solid setup. But he had an excuse. He was saying like, but I have all this stuff, but not necessarily using it, you know? So that's like the struggle. And then so my approach was taking something that they're passionate about and relating it, like bringing it into the mix.
Nice.
Yeah. So this guy, like, he kind of like does like house flipping. So the way I saw it was, dude, treat it as one of like your house projects, you know, like you're finding a diamond in the rough, you're putting in all this like demo, you know, like remodeling. And then it's the same like principle.
Nice.
So like take that same like concept and apply it, and look, you've made like a diamond from nothing. I ended that conversation with saying, dude, you got this. I know you can. Like, you have everything available. Like, what's your excuse?
Yeah.
And I kind of like pulled like the friend card, you know, like, you know, I wouldn't push you if I didn't think I was a good friend, you know, like really trying to like be that positive influence.
Yeah.
Because one thing I miss, like having like, obviously like something we do, you know, like we push each other, is like keeping each other accountable, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're really a friend, you really care, you care about like their full like well-being, like mind, body, spirit.
Exactly.
So just trying to like find that relatable like aspect, and really just trying to like make it genuine.
Yeah. And that's the mark of a good coach, that you understand or you're able to see someone from this outside view, and maybe that's all they needed to hear. Maybe like perspective, right? Perspective. I mean, I'm definitely inspired by you, especially lately when you told me that you started picking up, you know, Wing Chun. I'm curious how that ended up being like your kind of path right now. picking up Wing Chun?
I've always been a fan of like the Ip Man like series.
Yeah.
And like just watching it, like, damn, that looks really cool. Like I wish I could learn stuff like that. And then just being in quarantine, you just, I don't know, you pick up new hobbies, you know, like you're just bored. So you're trying to like do anything you can. So I picked up a Rattan ring. I picked up the Ip Chun Wing Chun book. That's Ip Man's son. I bought like the Jeet Kune Do book,
Nice.
Wing Chun like punching bag. I don't know, just like when I try to like start something new, I dive like all in, you know, like I really try to like become like a good student and really just try to like absorb like a sponge. But like I feel like a lot of guys don't have like that self-defense like in their arsenal, you know, like I want to be able to like just defend myself if I need to, you know, or like protect my lady.
Yeah.
But also like not only just that, but just the principles behind it, like really just becoming a student and learning like a craft, like starting from scratch and like respecting the art because it is, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, just find something like fun, like in it. It just like speaks to me, especially like I've been also like into like Bruce Lee lately. I watched like the Netflix like series that was on him.
Yeah.
Read a lot of his like philosophies, and man, that guy was ahead of his time.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, you mentioned like the principles and like the philosophy and the wisdom of Wing Chun. I mean, arguably, people say that it's probably the most well-rounded martial art.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the expert like in it for sure.
Not yet.
Yeah. But like what I do appreciate about it is like the economic like factor and really limiting your energy and really just doing what minimal movements possible, but the most effective like movements too.
So like limiting your energy in a sense of like being efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of like the Chinese like martial arts, whether it's like tiger style, like crane, praying mantis, you know, like a lot of the stuff looks good like on camera for show, but it's not necessarily like applicable. It's not like realistic.
Yeah.
A lot of like the Wing Chun moves are more just like attack and defend, attack, defend, attack, defend. It's not showy, but it's effective. Yeah. With very like little to minimal effort.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Because when someone gets excited for sure, or you're in a fight, the first thing is that adrenaline rush, the sympathetic nervous system response of the fight or flight. And then you realize, like you watch any combat sport, if anybody blows their load too soon, you see them get gassed right away.
Oh yeah, and that's the window for the opponent. That's how you get knocked out. You know, that's how you fail. Yeah,
that's crazy. Like the fact that you said that, like limiting the amount of energy just to what is needed. That translates directly to life. I mean, we all expend on our energy on shit that really doesn't matter. A lot of the
work
time.
smarter, not harder.
Exactly. I mean, I can imagine studying Wing Chun and the principles of it. You can look at life situations differently. You'll be able to have a perspective.
Totally.
Yeah. I definitely want you to know that like it's inspiring to see you take up a new thing and to just be inspired by an art form, right? I think everybody that chooses a vocation, whatever path it is, you have to look at it as an art form. That's the only way I think you can see the layers beneath the physical side of it. You know, and anybody that looks at a sport, and I mean, we're easy. It's easy for us to critique it and be like, oh yeah, you could have done better. But it's the person that's actually doing it that counts for me. And you know,
exactly.
And that's why I respect a man on his path, no matter what it is, because I know, especially if they look at it as an art, you could see the ebbs and flows. It's deeper than that. It's more, and that's why you know someone's going to accomplish it, because it's deeper than just getting the numbers or the measurements.
Right.
You know? And that's super inspiring to me, man. I definitely want an opportunity for you to plug in your coaching while you kind of take us out here, bro. All right. So where can people find you?
So you could find me on Instagram, Doromal.ants. My professional page on Instagram is Antsthetics Fitness. So you can find me there, or my email, antstheticsfitness@gmail.com. And for any podcast listener, for broken instruments, whether it's now or anytime in the future, if you listen to this podcast and then you relate to it, message me and I'll give you 20% off your program. So that's anytime from now and whenever you hear this.
That sounds good, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.